it, lit up that midfield for Mamelodi Sundowns and left a huge gap. And I might have a debate about it, Mamelodi Sundowns, but what an influence he was.
The left-footed and the right-footed option here. Modiba, the left-footed option. The right-footed option from the Chilean 26-year-old Marcelo Allende. Plays just by the D of the penalty area. Modiba will knock this into the penalty area. Nicely away by Remo Stars. Referee allowing an advantage here for that little bit of jersey pull, and it's not a bad ball into the penalty area, but easily contained by Mamelodi Sundowns. The man who just took the free kick, Mudau, back on duty. Nicely away by Malibongwe Khoza. One thing early on you can see from Remo Stars is that they quickly onto the ball carrier, and they're closing down Mamelodi Sundowns very quickly, and you're seeing a lot of physical contact early on here in Abeokuta.
Two things. You're very right to say in terms of having to put pressure on the ball and pressure on Sundowns, but at the same time, once they're in possession themselves, the numbers they're adding forward, that could be problematic if Sundowns are not so organized in that defense. Of course, that has got Khoza in that midfield, and of course, there's Mudau in support of Modiba. Experience in abundance.
Nice little chip on this left-hand side to run onto for Tashreeq Matthews. He's a quick man, Matthews. Turn from Shalulile. A little bit of a miss early on. Santos nicely parried away by the goalkeeper. Side netting again from Mamelodi Sundowns. But that's the first time they've really showed their teeth, showed what sort of quality they have about them. And you can see the reaction from the goalkeeper, Obasa.
It is class. It's composure by Shalulile. It is a shot that is on target. Of course, at the end of the day, they could not get it right. But good goalkeeping as well from Obasa. Does well to save the ball quickly, gets up in anticipation of a follow-up. The Sundowns, and of course...
You'll be going to be served here today in Abeokuta. Remo Stars, a very attacking-looking side, a very physical-looking side, closing down Mamelodi Sundowns when they have the man in possession. But Mamelodi Sundowns have all the quality in the world. And while the score is 0-0 at the moment, one just gets the feeling it might not be that way come 90 minutes. Cupido. Nicely knocking the ball around. That's the style of Mamelodi Sundowns. If you have never seen Mamelodi Sundowns play before, the short passing game and then getting numbers forward, and the box entries will come very quickly indeed. Another opportunity. Second of the game. First goal for Mamelodi Sundowns. An away goal is so important. He missed the first time from the left-hand side. Tashreeq Matthews beats Obasa, and Remo Stars concede a goal for the first time in the Champions League.
Talk about being ruthless. Talk about being classy in terms of the manufacturing process of that goal. Talk about being decisive. And that's exactly what he has been. First touch makes it difficult for any opponent to catch it. Gets it right with the left foot. Plugged it so nicely. Didn't disappoint. It's such a beauty. It's a good start for Mamelodi Sundowns. Looking at the clock, 12 minutes into it. Playing away from home. It's a good start for Mamelodi Sundowns, stamping their authority.
Well, it certainly is so. And, yeah, it's one thing playing against aside from the Comores. With all due respect to the Comores, I think they did rather well at World Cup qualification for the United States. As we confirm the scoreline with the Matthews goal coming 12 minutes into this encounter. CAF Confederations Cup and the CAF Champions League. Well, two teams from both countries in the Champions League, two teams from both countries in the CAF Confederations Cup. And various levels of success or the lack thereof for both sides. We'll get through that in a moment, because let's talk about Marcelo Allende. Oh, it's a good header. Tremendous save from Sergio Bassa.
Wonderful save. What a header. Glancing header, good delivery from Allende. Look at that. There was power, there's accuracy. And then agility as well to be able to save that. What a goalkeeping. Obasa. Header from this man, Reisinho.
Yeah, it's 2 good saves that Obasa has made so far. The Benin-born goalkeeper playing his football in Nigeria. Allende, header missed by Keanu.
Keeper, I think so far in Africa, in Ronan Williams. It'll take a lot to beat him at this stage. Got to do better.
Fortunately, Modiba was on hand. Reisinho with the cover forward as well for Mamelodi Sundowns. We have 5 minutes of stoppage time to play before we have half-time in Abeokuta. Mamelodi Sundowns leading with that Matthews goal, and while we talk about that, so we talk about the 2 sides from Nigeria playing in the CAF Champions League. Remo Stars playing against Mamelodi Sundowns here at the moment and trailing at home by 1-0. Well, Rivers United, who finished runners-up in the previous season in the Nigerian Premier League, played against Black Bulls from Mozambique away from home, lost by 1-0. So they'll come home and try to get the better of the Mozambican outfit. Again, the ball's been given away carelessly by Mamelodi Sundowns captain. And yeah, that was an anxious moment created by Adideo.
Good thinking. Good intentions. It's accuracy, not the best distribution there. Bit of a gamble.
Down the other side, the keeper's been caught off his line. Shalulile has the ball in the back of the net. There's a big protest from Remo Stars, but a second goal before half-time for Mamelodi Sundowns. Look at the support by Nuno Santos for the Namibian international. Peter Shalulile, 130 goals in domestic competition, scores another international goal or international club goal. And look at the big smile on his face. He's such a humble guy. He just loves scoring goals.
He's got insatiable appetite. Erratic at the back, and they got punished for it. Did they not know when they looked at the team sheet and they found the name? This man is hot. It is Shalulile. Doesn't disappoint. Composed himself. He is not happy at all, Obasa, because that looks as simple. Very erratic at the back. They should have cleared that.
And Cupido with a big smile on his face. 30 seconds to play before we have half-time in Abeokuta. It's been a good first half for Mamelodi Sundowns. Workmanlike. They've had to be patient. They've had to just try and absorb whatever Remo Stars had in their quality and then punish them with some fluid movement, not only from the left-hand side with Matthews, but straight down the middle of the park on the right-hand side with Nuno Santos, through the middle with Peter Shalulile. It's been a good first half for Mamelodi Sundowns, and the referee blows for half-time then at the M.K.O Abiola Stadium. Mamelodi Sundowns with goals from Matthews and Peter Shalulile, who gives thanks for the contribution and the skills that God gave him, as the referee has a chat there to Alex Oyowa. But work to be done for little loops a little bit more than what a grass, a natural surface would provide, because of the soaking effect from a natural surface and the ground underneath of it. But yeah, you've spoken about as well, when you're going for a sliding challenge and you have a grass burn, but it's nylon. Hey, it's not funny.
It's not. I have a lot of those marks. Felt good when you go for slack tackles.
Nice little ball here for Nuno Santos. Lovely through the legs here by Mudau. Mudau on goal. Support in the middle of the park. Reisinho will tap it away. No offside flag. Sundowns 3-0. And absolutely dominant. Reisinho scores for the first time in the colours of the Brazilians, who've had an hour's play in Abeokuta.
Stylish. Precision. Class. Simplicity.
Tell you what,
look at this. Look at this. One man up against three. And those three were not aware that there's three more on the other side that they needed to deal with. It's an easy tap at the end of the day, Cap. It's football made easy.
And again, the difference between a really, really quality side and a side that maybe like at the moment, showing a little bit of naivety. You've got to play. I mean, Kolisa Mudau, that's the second time we've seen that sort of run in the second half. He's showing so much the centre-back position. And it was the easiest tap-in for the Portuguese 26-year-old, Reisinho. And he'll be very happy to have got onto the score sheet for Mamelodi Sundowns, who now lead by 3-0.
The three players you're talking about on the far side for Remo Stars were actually facing their goalkeeper. And that, for me, is not defense at all, because it just shows that it was a desperate...
Incredible performances against Zelamaju from the Comores, with 4 different goal scorers at home in the first leg. Well, those 4 goals are long forgotten here in Abeokuta, with the 3 goals that have been scored by Mamelodi Sundowns. Their first goals conceded in the competition, but yeah, really one-way traffic. And Matthews a little on the naughty side with that challenge. There's a bit of work to do for Ronald Williams.
Yeah? Fine, and he's page.
Mark Gibson, the 20-year-old from Liberia, has been sent on with some purpose. A bit of a long-range effort. I don't think that Ronald Williams was too troubled by it. It does, however, give Remo Stars their second corner of the match, and set pieces are dangerous things. Once again, it's Chileku appealing for the penalty. The referee waves his arms immediately. Mr. Juven. And the local support aren't very happy with that sort of decision. Forward comes Adedayo. Wide by Oyowa. A little bit of work to be done here by Ngenge. He hasn't been able to keep the ball in play. Gets a lot of encouragement from his teammates. Does the 18-year-old who signed from Khoza City last season.
Hasn't missed his breakfast if you look at his physique. Very imposing figure.
Highly rated as well.
Yeah.
Ronald Williams, cool, calm and collected, keeper sweeper. He's got to be careful not to become too complacent here, Mamelodi Sundowns, because suddenly there's a bit of space inside that penalty area, and once again it's Adam Goita who is providing the impetus.
A good cross, just need that man to attack it.
Look at the defense there of Kolisa Mudau. We've spoken about his prowess on the attack. We've spoken about his prowess wide and being able to control matters under pressure. That was a really good piece of defending. Corner from Chileku doesn't really cause any problems for Mamelodi Sundowns, but Mamelodi Sundowns really on the defensive at the moment. We're only halfway through the second half, and Sundowns will want to come away from Nigeria and Abeokuta in particular with a clean sheet to take back to South Africa. Time's not in favour of Remo Stars, to be honest, and they're going to come undone in front of their home supporters in this sort of fashion by Mamelodi Sundowns. And yeah, one can hardly wait, I suppose, these South African supporters to see what happens at Loftus Versfeld in a week's time when the return leg is played in South Africa. And the way things are looking currently is that Mamelodi Sundowns will once again make at least the group stages of the CAF Champions League. And Remo Stars will lose both of their competitors in the Champions League potentially. But Rivers United have a home match against Black Bulls of Mozambique to play in a week's time, and maybe there will be some success for the experienced Rivers United side. But as things stand at the moment, it looks like 3 out of the 4 competitors in both the CAF Champions League and the Confederations Cup for Nigerian clubs will end prematurely before the group stages. For South Africa, Pirates have a mountain to climb after losing to St. Iloilo Popo this afternoon by 3-0. Sundowns obviously well in command of things, and as we said, both Stellenbosch FC and Chiefs playing 2 goalless draws away from home. Peter Shalulile, space here for Suarez! Opasa tries to make the save, but Solis, the Brazilian, beautifully left-handed execution. Just took his time, was absolutely pinpoint. Opasa beaten for the fourth time. Sundowns scored 2 in the first, 2 in the second. And Remo Stars in all sorts of trouble.
The concern for the coach would be the amount of time that the Sundowns players had in the box. And of course, not clearing their lines convincingly, you don't head the ball back into play. Head it to the side. And they got punished for that. That is pure class. And it's Salas, of course, acrobatic in his approach, celebration as well.
Helps to be a tall man when the ball bounces in that sort of fashion. Discussion between himself and Nuno Santos, who's yet to score a goal for Mamelodi Sundowns. Solis certainly has scored last season, and now some changes to come because you got Tashreeq Ntsabeleng, 27-year-old, who was playing in the United States most recently with Dallas FC. Mamelodi Sundowns dominant, just as Remo Stars were here to win the first leg of the opening round against Zilamaju when they scored 4 in front of their home supporters today. They're getting a taste of their own medicine. We'll continue to playing flowing football, and again it's Katlego. Opportunity here for Olasupo. No mistake this time. Remo Stars open their account, and I think that'll be probably disappointing for Mamelodi Sundowns goalkeeper and captain Ronald Williams, as well as coach Miguel Reisinho. But the fans are loving it.
Well, it's a good goal. I mean, if you look at the control, manufacturing process, decisive in terms of what he does, the anticipation from Ronald Williams, he thought that ball was going to go onto his left-hand side, but played with some pace onto his right-hand side, off balance. It's a good goal, well-worked goal. Something to show.
Delightful possession from him as well, and still the momentum continues with Allende. Modiba, Chilean, Allende, now Mokoena. Lovely little slider through to Mudau on the inside, and Sales. Mudau, much more central role here. Does Mudau pull the trigger? He doesn't. Modiba, though, quite capable. Sales was the target man. Now Sundowns might be a bit thin defensively. Referee playing an advantage. It was a challenge from Allende. Forward now by the substitute, Shaibu Ibrahim. Easy for Williams.
Hasn't been really tested. Of course, they've considered a goal. Mamelodi Sundowns, but Williams hasn't been really tested.
If you look at the record of Mamelodi Sundowns in the CAF Champions League, they bowed out in round 1 on 2 occasions, certainly not recently. Round 2 on 1 occasion. They've made the playoff round when there was a playoff round on 3 occasions. Group stages twice, quarterfinals 4 times. Opportunity for goal number 5. Easy as you like. Football's an easy game, you know. When you open up the defence, and a nice little tap in there for Tashreeq Matthews. And yeah, the goalkeeper beaten for the 5th time now, and it's starting to become maybe a little on the embarrassing side, but opening it up on the right-hand side, Mamelodi Sundowns, and easy as you like. That's a typical celebration. We saw that down at Kingswood at Tini Stadium as Modiba picks up Ntsabeleng.
What a finish. Look at the distribution. Look at the pass, setting up this young man. Timed his run so well. Decisive in terms of how he converts. Ntsabeleng. One for the future. Up against or playing alongside one of the classiest players, very experienced man who set him up, and they show their class, Mamelodi Sundowns. Like I said, I mean, Remo Stars have got to attack, and they're likely to be vulnerable at the back, and that's what Sundowns are doing, punishing mistakes.
Hasn't played domestically for Mamelodi Sundowns. Pops up in the Champions League, scores a goal, but one has to give a lot of credit to that. On the right-hand side to the man who's popped up there, and that is Modiba. 5-1, Mamelodi Sundowns lead. 4 minutes and stoppage time away from full time, and Remo Stars with a mountain to climb if they have any hopes of beating this quality Sundowns side. Youngster. Little touch in there as well for Tashreeq Ntsabeleng. It's quite interesting for Ntsabeleng, except for that little touch. I'm sure he's barely had a touch on the ball, except for tucking it into the back of the net. Control the ball, they'll hog possession, they'll try and play that possession style of football, not only inside their own half, but inside the half of Remo Stars as well. I'll just let the clock run down, because there's only another 2 minutes remaining, and suddenly Ronald Williams is indulging himself a little.
Manage their lead. The best way to do it, keep the ball.
Now the opposition can do nothing if they don't have possession. Allende, another really, really good ball. And Modiba making grounds here. The ball doesn't quite reach Modiba, but a nice combination again. And while Remo Stars will have a goal kick, and a bit of disappointment for the former French-based striker. Really got himself in a good position. But I don't think Mamelodi Sundowns fans can complain too much about today's performance.
It's been a classic performance on their part.